The Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 10:06. Our next case is Mr. Fred Johnson Jr. Mr. Johnson, would you please give us your full name and DOC number?
All right, Fred Johnson Jr., 133017.
Mr. Johnson, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then the board is going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we will allow the participants who have indicated they wish to speak to have their input. You have several people here today to speak in support. Your sister, Janice Coleman, your brother, Darrell Johnson, and Mr. Darrell Miles with First 72 Plus. At the end, you'll be allowed to make a brief statement before the board votes. Do you understand our process, sir?
Yes, sir.
This is the matter of Fred Johnson Jr., DOC number 133017, date of birth, August the 3rd of 1965. He's classified as a second felony offender. He has a parole eligibility date of August 1st of 2021, an adjusted good time date of August the 5th of 2199. He is currently serving, he has a full term date of September the 10th of 2203. He is currently serving a total sentence of 204 years, 8 months, and 17 days. He has, for the charges of 3 separate counts of armed robbery and 1 having been revoked. All sentences were made on November the 24th of 1999. Mr. Johnson, is all of that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Johnson, your case has been assigned to Mr. Alvin Roche. He will begin our interview process. Will you please answer any questions that I have?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Good morning.
Mr. Johnson, you're currently 57 years old.
Yes, sir.
And you're a second felony offender. And you just, I don't know whether it was recent or not, but you lost 90 days good time. Why did you lose the 90 days good time?
Well, I had a disciplinary report, and I was on my way to pick up a healthcare passenger from building the rodeo, and me and a security guard that got into it, and it was my fault because I didn't take time out to listen to what he was saying, and I reacted in an unmannered procedure, and that's how I received a disciplinary. And I went to the court. The court had an altercation or whatever, and then I lost a good time there, the 90 days.
When was that?
2002.
2002. And when was your last disciplinary write-up?
Oh, my last incident write-up was 2019.
Okay, so why haven't you applied to restore that 90 days good time?
All right, because I was and I was taking the classes, I was taking the programs and everything, and they were saying I received the good time for the classes I took in Louisiana State Penitentiary, and I don't know if they put it in my records or whatever, because I received the good time for the classes I finished the program.
How many write-ups did you have in 2019?
Maybe 3 to 5, if I am mistaken.
5.
Okay. All right.
How long have you been at David Wade?
I've been in David Wade about 5 months.
And no write-up since you've been at David Wade?
No, sir.
Great. What's your current job?
All right, I work at Crew 30. When I'm not doing the groundskeeping work, I pick up paper and everything. I do flower beds and everything.
Were you a trustee at Louisiana State Penitentiary?
Yes, sir, I was trustee.
What level?
A.
Have you received that status, or have you enough time to earn it at David Wade?
Well, I have to be here 6 months before I can apply to be trustee. I haven't been here long enough yet. Yeah.
Right. Tell me about your vocational skills and training.
All right, my vocational skills are like I got groundkeeping, and then my other skills I got from the classes out of the program that I attended. Parent skill, life skill.
I'm talking about skills like mechanic, welding, culinary arts. You have any skills?
No, sir, I don't have that. I don't have none but a groundskeeping one.
You have a GED?
Yes, sir.
When did you earn your GED?
I read it in 2012.
Okay, great. Tell me about the programs that you completed in the last 5 years.
In the last 5 years, all right. Beautification, victims awareness, thanking for a change, breaking the silence, 100-hour life skill training, tarot, and CPR.
Great. Have you taken any substance abuse?
Yes, sir. Breaking the silence, all doubt. Breaking the silence.
Also see that you took parenting.
Yes, sir.
Breaking the chain.
Yes, sir.
Any organizational participation?
Where I go, I don't, since I've been here at Wade, I don't ANA and church programs.
No Toastmasters? No kind of other organization?
Other educational?
Organization.
Organization?
ACs?
Well, the other organization, since I came here, I haven't been participating in them because they don't have them.
All right. The staff lists your your institutional record as poor, but it stated behind that you've made some great improvements the last couple of years. What happened in 2019 that turned your disciplinary conduct around?
All right, after I got my last disciplinary write-up, I know I didn't want to do that anymore. So I made a choice of turning the other way around and completing all the classes that I was participating in all the program. And I just was through with their life and I made a positive change. And I just stuck with it because the program worked. And ever since that in my disciplinary record, I didn't have no more disciplinary because I adopted a new mindset and I changed.
When did you realize that you might be parole eligible?
All right, before the Act 122 came in effect, I rolled my sleeves up and got in the program and went to work. And then when it came in effect, I already was like due diligence doing it.
But you knew it was coming.
Yes, sir. It was in effect. But after I got my last write-up, I just focused on getting myself together.
So basically, that was one of the reasons why your disciplinary write-up stopped, because you knew at this maybe you might be eligible for parole.
Well, I could say this here. I just didn't want to be that same person.
Okay.
Mislapping, relapsing and everything.
Just to put it on record, you had 85 disciplinary write-ups and 22 years of incarceration, an average of 4 write-ups for every year that you were incarcerated. But once you became parole eligible, your behavior changed. Is that about right?
Yes, sir.
You were locked down on administrative corners or work in cell block 20 or 25 times prior to 2019.
Yes, I did.
That's a lot. That's a lot, Mr. Johnson, to be in lockdown, working cell block or administrative quarters for 25 times in less than 20 years is a lot. Let's talk about alcohol. Have you ever used illegal drugs?
Yes, I did.
And when did you start, and what was your drug of choice?
My drug of choice was I was smoking marijuana and using a little heroin.
And what age did you start?
Well, I started when I was in my middle 20s.
So you started late.
Yes, sir.
So tell me why you started using drugs.
Well, after I had been through some things that wasn't so great in my life, I just resorted to using drugs.
And how long did you use drugs before you were incarcerated?
Well, it's about like 18 months to 24 months. If then I got incarcerated, you know.
Did you figure out that drugs were maybe the cause why you got incarcerated?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever abused alcohol?
Yes, I did.
What was your alcohol of choice?
Beer.
On a daily basis?
No, mostly on the weekend, like we barbecue or do crawfish balls and stuff like that.
Are you a drug addict?
No, but I have participated in it, using it.
You don't think you're drug
It
addict?
was on everyday high, sir.
You don't think you're drug addict?
To a degree, yes, I do.
Have you ever got an intoxication write-up while incarcerated?
No, sir.
You never got an intoxication or unfair write-up because of illegal drugs?
Yes, my last write-up. I had been using earlier that day, and when I came to the thing, that's how everything come about starting.
So basically, you have gotten write-up as late as 2019 for intoxication.
Yes, I did.
And that's only 4 years ago, and you were in your middle 50s then.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
You have a terrible supervision history. You terminated unsatisfactorily in April of 1991. You were revoked in November of 1999, and you've been incarcerated ever since because you were on supervision for another robbery when you committed these two armed robberies. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You have an extensive criminal background. You have 9 adult arrests, which concerns me because 8 of the 9 arrests involve violence. You have a history of being violent. While committing the armed robbery, your victim did not resist, but you stabbed each and every one of the 3 victims while robbing them, with them showing no resistance. Why is that, Mr. Johnson?
Well, back then I was immature, young, thinking like a child, doing childish things, acting on my emotions and feelings.
Mr. Johnson, you were in your 30s when you committed the last two robberies.
I didn't really hear the question, no, sir.
Johnson, you were in your 30s, your mid-30s, last two robberies.
Yes, I was.
You may have been immature, but your age was not immature. You were in your mid-30s.
Yes, I was.
So why all the violence? The victims did not resist. The gentleman opened a cash register and you stabbed him with a pen in his hand. You stabbed out the two victims in their back and chest, and it didn't even resist. Why?
Back then, I was just a different person, going through things, just immature and just doing stupid, boyish things.
Mr. Johnson, you show immaturity because you were intoxicated just 4 years ago.
Yes, I was intoxicated 4 years ago, sir.
Okay. Let me tell you about the opposition. You have opposition from the DA's office in the 17th JDC. We have opposition from the DA's office in the 32nd JDC. Both offices saw fit to write very strong letters of opposition. Not only are they opposed, they submitted very strong letters of opposition. Both law enforcement communities in the 17th and the 32nd JDC also strongly opposed. You have support for your early release from the first 72 in the audience, and you have support from an organizer with the Afro-American Freedom Union who submitted a letter. Warden Goodwin, would you like to make any comment, or do you have any concerns, remarks, observations?
Well, Mr. Roche, thank you. As you mentioned earlier, Senator Johnson's only been here a few months, about 5 months, but during that period, he's put his best foot forward. He's done well at this institution. I think Colonel Tolliver commented on his work evaluation about how he volunteers for projects. He works really hard. Even though that these are a lot of things he doesn't have to do, he volunteers for them. His record, as you mentioned, has been very good since 2019, and he's continuing on that path since he came here about 5 months ago. We haven't had any problems with him, and he participates in programming, and he's definitely got his best foot forward at this point in his incarceration, Mr. Roche. That's all the comments I have at this time.
Thank you, Warden Goodwin. Mr. Johnson, I'm glad to see that you're doing good in the last 3 or 4 years, but the streaks of violence that you displayed while committing these armed robberies is totally unacceptable. And based upon prior criminal history, it's going to be difficult for me to make a positive decision, but I will sit back, I will listen, and then I'll come up with a decision at the end of the interview. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Chairman.
Now we'll hear from your supporters. We'll hear first from your sister, Ms. Janice Coleman.
Hello, my name is Janice Coleman. I'm a paraeducator.
Ms. Coleman, just a second. I think you may have something on over there. Are you watching us on YouTube or something? Well, you're on mute now. Could you unmute your... Okay, let's try it again.
Yes, my name is Janice Coleman. I'm a paraeducator in the school system. I'm Fred's older sister. I am confident and believe that when Fred get out and come out in society, that he'll do a good job. I have noticed a change within him through the help of God. He's very compassionate. Fred has always been a loving, kind person that didn't mind helping others and doing things. I know he had took a lot of classes over there at the in the places he's been. And I just believe with the help of God that he can come home and enjoy some time with our mother.
We lost you, ma'am. We can't hear you anymore.
That need to also hear him, speak to him about where he's been and explain to things that where they may not go. I have an after school program that's nonprofit where I deal with underprivileged kids with life skills, homework, and try to keep them off the streets. So I believe and consider if you all take and consider him and giving him a second chance. He has a great support family group. He has his family, church members, and friends that be able to go ahead and give him the support that he needs to achieve the transition that he needs to get where he needs to go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we're here with Daryl Johnson, who is Mr. Fred Johnson's brother, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you're on mute. Could you unmute your microphone?
How you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, sir. You'd introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like us to know about your brother.
Good. I'm Fred, youngest brother, Daryl Johnson. I enjoy what Fred doing and want to change his life. Me, myself, I work with the elders. I've been with the elders, working with the elders at a nursing home for 26 years. I have my own grad service, and I give back to the community. I've been doing it for 4 years, and I think he'll be a good fit with me, working with me. And I really think that Fred have kind of learned his lesson. And he's a good person, like my sister said. And I enjoyed seeing him again, being home, doing the things of God.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We appreciate your comments. Now we're here for Mr. Daryl Miles with First 72 Plus. Mr. Miles.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
We've at the First 72 Plus have a program that's designed to meet the needs of Mr. Johnson in his transition. We have rehabilitation programs that consist of 9 steps to staying free and a restoring and rebuilding lives program. In those programs, we deal with anger management issues, we deal with substance abuse issues, we deal with alcohol addictions. Also, Fred will be one of our in-house clients. So therefore, Fred will be monitored and counseled on a 24-hour basis. We have a program there in our transitional housing that would help him transition smoothly back into society by job placement and housing. Along with that housing, once Fred has received the necessary employment that he needs, then we have a team that will go out with him to locate housing. And in that process, he will be attributed the first month rent and deposit to his housing. So the program we have is set for Fred to be a success. Fred has the qualities of doing and being right and being a successful citizen. If given the opportunity today, we will ensure the board that Fred will be that success, and your decision would not be one of regret. So I thank you for this opportunity to speak on his behalf and giving him the opportunity to live as a productive citizen in society. So on behalf of the First 72 Plus, we submit our 100% support of Mr. Johnson and his release today.
Thank you, Mr. Miles. We appreciate your comments. Mr. Johnson, is there anything you'd like to say before the board votes?
Yes, I do. I know my background, my history on the street and my history in the penitentiary is like taking a huge risk or a huge chance for me to be released. But I came to realize realization of myself, I didn't want to be that person no more. Not only I got up and rolled up my sleeve and got on and got with the things that I needed, I always put my foot first, my effort first, to not to be the same person I used to be when I was back there. And I can't change what happened back there, but I can tell you this here, y'all give me the opportunity today to be free with my family. Y'all will never see or hear anything bad about me. And the people, the trust I earned, I gained from my group, my support group. I just want to be a productive citizen and be in society doing the things that everybody else do. If you look at your program, the statistic numbers is high of people like me going back out there in society and making it. I just need y'all believe, y'all trust, and giving me another opportunity to be free. I'm not that same person I used to be. I just need to show y'all my change. And everybody that put this life on the line for me and honor their trust, for them trusting me to be in that, I ain't gonna let them down. I'm not that same person. I know my background don't look good, and I don't have no excuse for that. But right now, I can tell you, and I can say this 1,000%, I'm not that same person. I'm not that same person I used to be. Not only did I got the classes that I was supposed to have, I graduated valedictorian, other classes. And I don't just have the certificate to show, I actually really live that, and I just be volunteer to do things because like I said, I don't want to be that same person I once was. And I hope that then I pray that I could get your vote and start my life on the other side. And I appreciate this opportunity to be on the board, to come and really be here to express myself to y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. We appreciate your comments. Is the board ready to vote?
Yes.
Roche?
Mr. Johnson, based on a long history of violence, a very long history of violence, of 9 arrests, 8 of those arrests had violent acts, and most were unnecessary violence because your victim did not resist. Extensive criminal history. You were on supervision when you committed the last 2 robberies. If more supervision history. Overwhelming opposition from the legal community in Carabone and LaFouche parishes. What I think is insufficient time served for the violence involved in your offenses. I'm going to deny your request.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, I heard everything you said, and you are so correct where your record is not a good one. And you're right, you can't do anything about it. And you started to do something about it going forward, and I commend you for that. You're just not quite there yet. I want you to continue the course that you're on. To really, you want to show us. You said you want to show us. So do that. It's not about just getting out of jail. It's about we want you to stay out of jail. And I think after 2019, you started to turn the corner. I believe that you're at a good place with David Wade. They gave you a really good review in the record saying that you're doing it will show us that you can continue to stay that course, maintain a good conduct record, take advantage of the program opportunities that are there for you, and reapply when you're eligible. However, today, my vote, based on your record, your past, the strong law enforcement and opposition that's been expressed by the DA's office, my vote today is to deny, but I want to encourage you, take advantage of the opportunities before you, reapply when you're eligible.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, you have 2 votes to deny your parole. My vote likewise is to deny. You've got a little more work to do. I think you know what you need to do. You're moving in the right direction. You've got good support. Perhaps the next time will be the time. It's not just yet. So keep up the good work. Good luck, please.
Thank you, Mr. Maribel.